So in my last video, I went over the accessories for the VR community and what we could possibly see in the future. But as the title suggests in this one, I want to go over and maybe make the possible argument as to why the actual Quest 3 strap is pretty good. So I think the first thing to go over is the bad, which everybody goes over. And that is the pressure that it puts on your face. And I think the Vision Pro is going to wind up going through the same issues. So I've got my Quest 3 here. What we have is we have pressure that comes from the back to push this thing into your face. And that's not a very comfortable experience. And I don't think it's going to be a very comfortable experience on the Vision Pro. It's going to be good for doing big movements and exercising possibly or moving around. It's pretty good. But what I've actually found is the Halo type strap, which I'm going to be comparing this to the Bobo M3 Pro, which I think is the better choice because of this Halo strap. I don't have it connected to my Quest because, and I'll make that argument here in a second, but this puts pressure onto your forehead, which takes the pressure off of your face, which makes it more comfortable. Plus, you can flip it up and do those types of things. So, the bad pressure on your face, the back strap on the included one could actually slide. So, obviously, I have no hair, and so this thing, if I'm going to be wearing it for maybe long periods of time, maybe this could potentially slide, and even if you do have hair, it could also potentially slide unless you keep strapping it down and keep tightening it on your face, and therefore an uncomfortable experience. And then that kind of leads into the imbalance of weight. So because all of your weight is going to be on the front of the display and not in the back, and it's not centered very well, also a bad point. And the straps can get dirty pretty easily, which means that if you're using it a lot, you're going to want to clean it because it's white and it'll show up. May not look as good, especially if you've got people around that are kind of judging you. But you're going to either want to get another one if you're going to be doing a lot of working out in it or sweating in it, and then you're going to want to mix it up with work. So you're going to potentially want to change it over to something like this. Let's go over the good. So the reason why I've actually gone back to using this, at least part-time, and I'll go back and forth because I don't think there is a jack of all trades in this situation, but I think the good is that it's portable. It is a lot more portable than using this one. And this one, you can actually fold it in. So in the case of me wanting to take it with me, I could fold this device inside of itself, and potentially make it decently small. But then you'd have to take it apart and then keep unscrewing it to get to where you need to get to. So minor gripes, but I think the portability of this, being able to obviously put some type of a lens protector, because I wear prescription glasses in these things, and also you'd want to protect the lenses. So pop these in here, and it's as portable as you can make it without these folding in, which is, that's a design that we're hopefully going to get solved in a future one. But I like being able to have this as portable as this. And the simplicity of it, being able to just, pop this thing on, use it, take it off. And obviously you can do that with any of these. It just seems a little bit easier to do with the built-in one. And the number one thing I've run into, I think, is the biggest problem is being able to lean back. So if I'm watching a movie, which I have been doing a lot in my Quest 3, I want to be able to lean my head back, especially if I'm sitting in this chair, or maybe I'm sitting on the couch and watching a movie by myself or with friends or whatever. It is not comfortable to do with other devices that have this thing hanging off the back, and especially if I put a battery in this and I try to lean back, it's not good for that type of design. So that's a big one for me. Like I said, this is the Bobo M3 Pro, and I know they just came out with the S3 Pro, I believe, or they're coming out with it, as I just found out yesterday. It may solve that issue, but I still think you've got a decent amount of chunk to lean back on. It could be comfortable. I'd love to test it out, and hopefully I will, but this one is not so comfortable to do that with, and I also find the danger of possibly the battery might pop out, and that these batteries are not long enough to watch a movie anyway, so it doesn't work. But it's cool to pop the battery, in the back, but an argument for this one is sometimes if I pop a battery in it, I mean, it's a strong battery, as it should be, but that little jog actually pops you back into, sometimes, for me anyways, it pops me back into pass-through. And say if I'm in the middle of a game, or if I'm in the middle of, something that I'm not using pass-through with, it will pop me back into it, which then I have to, pop back, or I have to, slowly piece that battery so it doesn't jog me out of whatever it is I'm doing. That's more of a critique, I guess, on the Bobo M3 design, which I don't think is much of a critique, but it is something that kind of leans me almost back to using the most simple of these, and then connecting a battery to it whenever I'm using it. When I use this, sometimes I'll want to toss this into my backpack, take it with me with my laptop or whatever it is. Even if I'm just like going to a different part of the house, and I have to carry a bunch of stuff with me, because you already have to carry the controllers and piece these together with this, and the controllers are getting smaller and smaller, which I love. I want to just kind of pop these in here and one-hand it, or I want to be able to just pop these in here and have room for the controllers, and then other peripherals, or just have the space in the backpack for other things that I want to carry, and that makes it a lot more doable than it does with another third party. So that kind of goes into the portability factor of this. Exercising with the built-in strap is much better. And that is the, like I said before, that is the idea that you want to be able to move around really, really quickly. And if you have something that is forehead mounted with the halo strap, right? So if you have something that's forehead mounted like this and you're moving around, it will kind of jog that around, and you don't really want that. In that case, you do want something that is more strapped onto your face, but you're not going to be wearing it for, that long. And hopefully, like if you're working out, it's not going to bother you that much. But the other argument against that is that it might fog the lenses. So hopefully there's a better breathable design so that your eyes can breathe when you're working out. The only argument that I have for that. Unless I'm playing VR games that require me to move around, usually I'll play for more than an hour or so. If I am going to play with friends, or if I'm going to play something where I'm standing up, then I'll go to the M3, because I don't really want to put a battery in my pocket if I'm moving around because of that cable, and I don't want to accidentally hit the cable or something. So in that case, I will use these and pop it in the back, and then go to town. But I think the argument here is that the simplicity of the original Quest 3 strap is really, really good, and I would make an argument that it's good. It's good enough. It's good for most people, and if you want something more, I would probably suggest looking at getting an external battery that's not strapped onto your head, and not to load your head up with all of these different devices. I would make the argument that you want it as simple and as sleek as much, and then possibly just offload that stuff onto your desk, in your pocket, like as a battery or something. And hopefully we go towards that more of a design aesthetic than we do trying to overload your head with all of this stuff. It looks silly, and it may solve some of the balancing issues, but I think at the other end of the design scope, we'll get to the point where, just a simple strap on top of your head like this kind of takes some of that pressure off of your face. And yeah, you may not be able to flip up your Quest, but it's just as easy to rest it on your head, or to take it off really quickly and set it down, and all of that. And it's economical. So yeah, is the strap good? I would say that the comfort is fine. It's not 100%, but the trade-off of it doing other things is much better. The ability to rest my head back and watch something is a huge plus. It's economical because it comes with it. It's simple, and I think most of all, it's portable. So the other last note is Meta recommends using the built-in battery as much as you can, at least to I think about 40 or 50%, and then charge up. So there is a danger if you're constantly relying on external batteries that you are not actually charging down the internal battery, and you kind of want to rely on the internal battery because of the portability. So there's an argument to be made that just use the battery that's in it and then get something that when you need to, that will allow you to offload that battery. And I've used even these small ones that are really made for the Quest 2. I've used these when my internal battery has gone down to, like 20% or so, and then pop these, and that just gets me past to drain these for a bit. It keeps my battery at 20%. It doesn't help charge up, but at least it'll keep me going. And then whenever I need to charge up, I can charge up at the end, the end of the day or whatever, and go that way. So that's another option when using these. But really, this is about the built-in strap, not about the M3 or external batteries that rest on your head as much. So I would just say plan on just keeping a spare battery no matter what if you are going to be using it. When I first started using this, I would plug it into my desk, and I don't really like that as much because I am in fear of accidentally forgetting about it if I want to get up with it and then yanking the cable, which is not a good thing. So at least if I'm kind of using the battery all day long, or finding a use case to use the battery all day long, whether it's an external battery that rests on my head or whether it's something I put in my pocket, I feel like that's it alleviates a lot of that stress of accidentally yanking that cable. So yeah, and so I just wanted to make a quick argument for the strap that the Quest 3 comes with as being good enough, because we see a lot of reviews about it not being good enough. But I think that it's great for most people, and I wouldn't stress it if you just got this device. I wouldn't stress getting new accessories and things like that unless you're into that kind of thing and you want to spend some extra money. But I would say if you're going to spend extra money, take a look at some good external batteries to use, as opposed to crazier head straps that build it all up. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you made it to the end of this video. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.